Hello and welcome to my channel, Prismworks. Today we're going to learn how to make these painterly renders inside Blender without actually having to paint anything yourself. Also, do show your support by clicking that like button and hitting that big red subscribe button. Before we start, I'd recommend visiting Blender's website and donating just $5 so the Blender Foundation can meet its full yearly funding goal for 2026. Huge thanks to Blender for making this video possible in the first place. We open Blender as usual. Delete the default cube and set up our scene like we normally do. Okay, now that I've finished setting up the scene, you can see a simple skull with a hat on top lit by a single aerial light. In the Render Layer tab, add a shader AOV and name it S for stylized. Make sure you don't have too many materials in your scene because later this process can get a bit labor intensive. In the shader editor, add an image node. The image should look something like this. I used AI to generate mine, but you can easily find something similar online. Next, add an AOV output node, a texture mapping node, and a texture coordinate node. Try not to stretch the texture. If stretching does happen, you can fix it by adding a new UV map, switching to edit mode, pressing U, and selecting box project. This should completely solve the stretching issue. Also, try to keep the scale of the brushstrokes medium, neither too big nor too small. Now repeat this process for all the materials in your scene. Let's do it for the hat and the scene now. Render the image with any cryptomat you like. This is our AOV. These are our cryptomats, and this is our final render. Add a bilateral blur node. And make sure you're using GPU mode for better performance. Plug the image into the image input of the bilateral blur node, and plug the AOV into the determinator. Right now, nothing seems to happen. But if we play with the size, you'll notice the brushstroke texture becomes more prominent. If we increase the threshold, the image becomes blurrier, and if we decrease it, the texture becomes sharper, giving us that painted look. I'm going to render with cycles since it gives better results for this type of effect. And now it looks much better. One thing I like to do is add a Kuwahara filter to the determinator, which makes the brushstrokes smoother and less harsh. You can adjust the values to get the result you want. We can also control the brushstroke effect on different objects by separating them using the cryptomat node and compositing them individually. You can switch the Kuwahara mode from anisotropic to classic for different types of results. And we're done. Now you can add any object to your scene, give it the same brushstroke texture, fix the UVs, and render your image. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope it helped you create some amazing Painterly renders inside Blender. If you try this technique, feel free to share your results. I'd love to see what you make. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more creative Blender content here on Prismworks.